Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on this new Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. And yeah, we'll go ahead and jump in to the swatches. Feast your eyes on this beautiful, beautiful, warm-toned goodness. Like, this is gorgeous, you guys. I saw this and immediately was like, yep, I'm buying it. And I'm gonna be really honest, I don't have any other Natasha Denona anything. I have heard about the brand for so long now, but kind of kept pushing it out of my radar. The reason why is because they're a luxury brand, they're sold in Sephora, they're really expensive. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like I can't believe how expensive they are. And when I say this, when I saw this palette and saw the price of it, this is actually a cheaper palette that they offer, and it's one of, I believe it's the first of its kind, meaning like it's, let's see, okay, so it comes with 15 shadows, just like their bigger palettes do, but it is smaller than their other palettes. So I don't have like a size reference of how big those palettes are. They might be comparable to the Ace ones. So I can, you know, I'm really not sure because I was gonna like hold them up together and I honestly don't know how big their normal palettes are, but they have the same amount of shades, but this is just smaller and the price is different basically. So for their normal size palettes, they're $130 basically, $129, but you know, with tax and everything, you possibly be looking at almost $140 basically. So to me, that's insane. Like, that is some crazy amount of money for an eyeshadow palette. Not to say that it's not worth it or anything like that, but that's like half of my car payment. So anyways, I was really excited when I saw that this one was $65 and I saw the shades and I was like, yep, this is perfect for summer. I love it. I need it now. It's my birthday. I'm getting it. So that's exactly what the thought process was behind it, and I am super excited to try their eyeshadows. Like I said before, I've never tried this brand before. They do have more than just eyeshadows, but basically, let's see, I'm just kind of looking through the brand on Sephora. So they have, looks like lip products, like a lip gloss, they have bronzer, highlight, a bunch of other things. I just believe that they're more, or I've heard the most about their eyeshadow palettes, so I'm excited to try one because this is the time. But also, if you're not familiar with this brand, they do have other palettes that are like mini palettes with only 5 shadows that retail for about, let's see, honestly, so there's the mini one that's like $25, and then there's the other ones that are smaller. Let's see, they have the, I guess it's just mini versions of their existing palettes, but instead of like 15 shades, they're 5 shades. So yeah, those are considerably cheaper. So if you ever wanted to try their products, but you don't want to invest in the bigger palettes, that would probably be a good thing to try. But then again, you are only getting 5 shadows, so who knows. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the swatches because I'm just gonna show you again because this is gorgeous. Like, this is 100% a Raeann palette if I've ever seen one. Like, it speaks to me. And because I think I forgot to mention it, so it does have a mirror, and this is the outside of the packaging. You can see my ring light. And just in case you wanted to know, this is, I'm going to show you guys the box. So the box almost looks exactly the same, but it has different font color. Nothing too special, but I like the fact that they basically look the same, so it's nice and cohesive and I can appreciate that. So I'm gonna go ahead and recycle that. And then let's go ahead and go into the swatching. I have a feeling this is gonna be a long video, so I'm probably gonna skip over the names and just go into the swatching. So I'm gonna do it from left to right. So we're gonna start with this shade here, go through the whole row, start at this shade, go through the whole row, start at this shade and go through the whole row. I might add the names, like have them pop up. If I don't and you guys would be interested in me doing that regularly, then let me know. Okay, so starting with that poppy shade. And I haven't swatched these or anything yet. I was swatching them in the store, but I haven't. Oh my god. That is stunning, you guys. It's a super pretty like berry shimmer. Alright, so the next shade, honestly one of the main reasons why I bought this palette. It's so pretty. Oh wow, they're coming out really pigmented. I should have moved that one a little bit closer. Probably have to go see if I can get these a little bit closer together. So now I am starting on the next row and it starts with the shade Aster. Wow, that shade is beautiful. It's like a duochrome. So it's kind of purpley pink. In the pan it looks kind of like a purpley gray almost. Oh, that one didn't swatch out the best. I'm gonna dip into it just to see if I can do it a little more justice. Maybe I didn't have enough product on my finger. Yeah, that one's swatching out a little patchy, but it's just a finger swatch, so I don't think it's anything to really be afraid of. These are gorgeous. I will say, these shimmers are swatching out like really pretty. I 100% bought this palette for the mattes. Like those yellow mattes, that like more pink one in here, like those were really those shades that were speaking to me. Okay, so that was the last shade in the second row. I'm gonna go into the first shade of the last row. And these shades in here, these matte ones were like basically the main reason why I wanted to buy this palette. Okay, so, ooh, that one got a little too close. That one also kind of swatched a little patchy, so I'm just gonna go back in and just kind of build it up a little bit better. And this is the shade. This is like the reason why I bought this palette. Oh, I definitely got a little bit of that other shade on my finger still, so let's clean that off. Okay, so I didn't get all of the eyeshadow off. I'm just gonna go back in and kind of try to swatch over it. I didn't want to start kind of messing up. Alright, I'm trying the swatch of this one more time. I keep getting the other shade in it, and I've taken a makeup wipe to this area and to my finger a bunch, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. We're just gonna move on to the next shade because I think we got the gist of things. This one's super pretty too. Those yellow and orange shades and like the purpley pink colors, like all of those mattes are the reason why I needed this palette. Alright, and this is the last shade in the palette, and that one swatched out super beautiful. Just go back through these. These look so pretty though, like they all swatched out pretty easily. The two mattes, so this one and this, was it that one? No. This one and this one kind of swatched out, kind of funky. It's a finger swatch. I'm not super worried about it. I'm sure it'll be beautiful on. And just to note, I am having a little bit of staining, so I'm just gonna have, oh, it looks like it might be coming off. Not too much staining, you can't really even see it. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime these babies and then I'll be back. Okay, so we're nice and blind and ready to go. Primed and ready to go. I got a glob of concealer on my contact and it was the last set that I had, and the concealer like literally ate the contact. So the next couple videos I'm probably gonna be not able to see, so bear with me. And we're gonna try to make this tutorial as fast as I can, so I might not be talking too much. Just gonna point at the shade and then do my thing and, you know, speed it up and all that fun stuff, and probably not show you the other eye. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. Let's do this thing. And then I don't think that azalea shade was dark enough, so I'm gonna go in with the poppy shade. Okay, so I'm back. I still can't see anything, but I'm back. Okay, now I can kinda, maybe not, hold on. Okay, so this is the finished look. Go ahead and get a little bit closer. Just trying a new thing with this video. Not really trying to talk too much about the products while I was working with them and then save it to the end, give you my thoughts and everything like that. I need to work on having my videos be a little bit shorter, so I wanted to see how this style of filming would be versus what I've been doing. So now that you guys have seen the look that I did, we're going to talk about how I felt about working with the palette, if I think it's worth the money and all of that stuff. So I think I mentioned already in the beginning that this is my first Natasha Denona palette. So normally her palettes are expensive. Well, this one was expensive, but they're like over 100, they're about $130. This one's $65. I still think that that price is steep. That being said, when you spend that amount of money on something, you kind of expect it to be uncomparable to anything else, that it's so much better than everything, that you want to spend the money on it, that it's justified, that the product's worth it, everything like that. I feel like $65 is still a little much. It definitely is better than $130 on a palette, but the funny thing that I've noticed with her palettes and watching reviews and watching people work with them is almost everybody says that they're good palettes, but they don't think that they're worth $130. And again, this one's only $65, but say if this was the Sunset palette, which is like the sister palette to this one, but it's a full-size one and it's the $130 price range. I don't really know where I was going with that. But if this was $130 and it was like the bigger palette setup, I don't think it would be worth $130. Because with that price, I feel like it would have to be like amazing. And okay. And I've seen their other palettes. I feel like the color stories are really gorgeous. That in itself makes them unique. I don't think that the formula, however, is really justified, or that the price is justified by the formula, basically. I liked working with this palette. I felt like some of the mattes were a little patchy, especially that first shade that I started out with, that Jasper shade. This orangey shade right here. Sorry, I just tried to clean off the palette with makeup wipes, so it's a little streaky. That wasn't the best idea I had. So, especially on the mirror part. Anyways, that was a little patchy. I felt like I kept losing the pink shades, the pink slash like plummy shades, so Glory and Clove. This one and this one, they turned out a little more pink on the camera. Anyways, I felt like I had to keep building those up. Like, I felt like I would get the look to look really good, and then I'd have to go back and kind of refresh those shades. Like, it wasn't enough. And I don't know if it's just me, but looking at this now, I mean, I used a lot of, I'm knocking everything over. I used a lot of different matte shades for this look, and I feel like a lot of them just kind of get lost. And then you're sitting there and you're adding more, trying to really pop the pigment, and it looks good, and then all of a sudden it's lost. I don't know if it's just a matter of using this palette a little bit more, trying to work with it more, limiting the amount of shades. Maybe I just put too much. Maybe I'm just trying to use too many colors and it's just getting muddy, or whatever it is. I felt like the shimmers were really beautiful. Those were really easy to work with. I used 3 or 4 different ones. I don't really have a complaint about any of the shimmers. Overall, I think this palette is good, but I feel like I'm going to be a little more harsh on it because of the price point. And again, this is a cheaper one than the other ones. I've said that a million times, but for $65, I mean, I feel like it's just, I don't know, like, I just feel like it's so much money for a palette to not be like amazing and way better than all of the other palettes. You know, if this is the same quality that you get for all of the other palettes that they've put out, the $130 ones, I don't think that that's worth it. And again, I think one of the things that I've seen on YouTube and stuff is when people are talking about their palettes, the reason why they're spending the money isn't necessarily the quality. The quality is fine, it's okay, it's good in some circumstances, but you're paying for the color story and the uniqueness of the palettes. You're not really paying for this crazy amazing formula. And I haven't used any of their other formulas, or sorry, any of their other eyeshadow palettes, so maybe that's not the case. and like I feel like I'm being kind of harsh on it, but for the money I just feel like it should have performed a little bit better, and like I need to work with it a little bit more, you know. Maybe I just need to keep working with it. I don't think it's bad by any means. I do think, I mean, if you look at these colors, and like I've showed you guys a million times, but the colors in this are just so gorgeous that it's like I can't even think of another palette on the top of my head, and maybe I do have one that I just can't think of it, but I really can't think of another palette that looks like this one specifically, like at least from the ones that I have. I really want this formula to be worth the money, and I feel like yes, it's good. Yes, I did have some problems with it, but I don't think that the formula really is like the best of the best, you know? Yes, it's good. Would I buy one of her palettes again? Yeah, probably. Would I probably wait until another $65 smaller palette came out? Probably. Would I do one of the like smaller ones? Yeah, probably. Would I spend the $130 on a palette? Not unless I got a raise. I don't know. Maybe I would. It's an investment, and right now I don't know if it's like, not to say it's not worth it, but, and I've said this a million times already, when the normal palettes are $130, you would just think that the formula was just outstanding. I think the formula is good. Is it better than some drugstore brands? I mean, some drugstore brands are comparable to it. Is it better than my $40 palettes that I have? No, not really, you know. So with that being said, like it's not a bad palette, but you just really have to think of the price, and I just can't even imagine myself buying one of her other palettes with that price point. Like you really are paying for the color story and the different shades and the uniqueness of that. You're not necessarily paying for the fact that the formula is better than other formulas, because I really don't think it is. So that being said, I do like this palette. I definitely need to work with it more. I'm not unsatisfied with it, but I'm not blown away. I am excited to keep using it. I think it's a perfect palette for the summer. I think the color story for the summer is beautiful. I love me a good warm tone, pinky, yellowy, beautifulness. I don't know where I was going with that. So yeah, I mean, I think it's gorgeous, but we'll just have to go from there. And instead of talking your guys' ear off, because I need to get better at that, and I think I'm out of focus, but I can't tell because I don't have my contacts in. Anyways, I think we're just gonna wrap it up. If you guys liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and we will see you next time.